I'm not taking this shit no more from people. It's incidents like this that people try to piggyback off of. And they try to use it as an excuse to talk about me, hating on brothers.
Now, after the whole LeBron situation where LeBron walked up on Stephen A., we got a few people, I'm assuming athletes, who are saying that Stephen A. Smith only picks on black people. He only makes his money off talking about black athletes and clowning them on TV. And as y'all know, I think it was the same day that LeBron walked up on Stephen A., he got a $100 million contract from ESPN. And I'm assuming some athletes feel like he got that contract from talking mess about black athletes. So Stephen A. responded to this. We gonna see what he got to say. Like the video and subscribe. Let's get it.
I want to get into a conversation about me because of how some folks have been attacking me. Not over this, but using this as an excuse to accuse me of hating on the brothers. I'm sick of that shit. I'm not backing up from that anymore. I'm not taking it from people anymore. I'm not just a black man, I'm a brother. I'm not gonna take this shit from people anymore. I'm going on Gilbert Arenas' podcast tomorrow. Gil's Arena, with Rashad McCants, with Kenyon Martin, Swaggy P, Nick Young and the crew. I can't wait. I can't wait for that conversation. I'm not taking this shit no more from people. I've had it with this. Because it's incidents like this that people try to piggyback off of. And they try to use it as an excuse to talk about me, hating on brothers. Me, the brother who is the ambassador for HBCU Week, that's generated millions in scholarship dollars for thousands of kids. Me, who's helped diversify ESPN with the opportunities as executive producer of First Take. Black folks, men and women, women period, white as well, any minority you can find. I'm me who has worked in this business for 30 years. Think about what I know. Think about what I've seen. Think about how much incriminating stuff that I could say. Think about how many incriminating facts I have. And I'm talking about the game. But literally, these brothers act like if this were boxing and a black dude knocked another black dude out, and I talked about the black dude that got knocked out, it's black on black crime. But the brother that knocked him out, you're just gonna ignore the praise I gave him. Gervonta Davis fights Lamont Roach last week. It was a majority draw because he took a knee. If the ref had counted that, Gervonta Davis should have lost the fight. Me saying that means I'm hating on a brother? What the hell has this world come to? But this is the stuff that I'm being subjected to. I'm not taking it anymore. I'm not taking it anymore. I see players, I ain't gonna even mention their names right now. I got plenty of time to do that. But LeBron is one of them. A week before he confronted me, remember he said, watching somebody be the face of the league, well, all these dudes do is go on the air in the mornings and shit on players. He was talking about me. Why? Because I got you number 2 all time? I think LeBron James is the greatest player in the history of man outside of Michael Jordan. I don't have him as number 1. Great father, great husband, great actor, great businessman, great family man, great philanthropist, great producer. What haven't I said? 4-time champion, 4-time league MVP. All-time leading scorer in NBA history right now. Surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. What have I not said? Come on, man. But they've been talking. These players, some of them, not most, not all, but a few. You know what they've been trying to do, right? In my opinion, what they've been trying to do is accuse me of selling out for the purposes of making it difficult for me to walk the streets as a black man amongst my peoples. Treating me like I'm not down. And I got to come on here on a public platform and speak about the challenges and the trials and tribulations that I have had to endure to help us, just because I'm critiquing your game. And too many of y'all have allowed them to get away with it. That's the real story here. Because LeBron told Richard Jefferson, and by virtue of doing that, told all of y'all, it wasn't about his son, it was about him. Because I said, as a father. But you're going to forget the quotes you gave. You're going to forget how you were bloviating about him. You're going to forget the fact that I said before he ever played the game, don't do that because you're bringing more attention on him, which means he's going to be more heavily scrutinized. And then you're going to get mad at us for pointing out what you were saying. But we forget that. We forget that.
Y'all trying to say Stephen A ain't down? Stephen A want to be down like Brandy. Lord have mercy. Now look, Stephen A, I ain't been letting nobody get away with it. I think LeBron is the GOAT. I think he's the number one player in the history of basketball. But I still said what he did was weak. I felt like he was trying to bully you, intimidate you, embarrass you at a Lakers game in front of all of those people with their phones out. I think he was trying to send a message to all basketball players that they might be able to run up on people in the media. I have a lot of opinions about what happened to you at that Lakers game, and none of them are positive for LeBron James, my favorite basketball player. Somebody who I was upset the other night when they lost to the Celtics and LeBron had to leave with an injury. Now I'm worried about the season. But with that being said, I think what LeBron did was very weak. Now at this point, I'm listening to Stephen A, and he says LeBron told Richard Jefferson that it wasn't about his son. So is it about Bronny or not? Because if it was about Bronny, he a grown-ass man. He don't need LeBron James walking up on Stephen A. Smith talking about his commentary on his game. And does LeBron have some deep hate for Stephen A. Smith because he says he's number 2 instead of number 1 over Michael Jordan? Is that why you mad? Now, by the way, they said the quote was at the game, "Stop effing with my son." So I guess I'm going to assume LeBron was upset about Bronny. And I even saw the clip that people are saying, oh, this is why Stephen A is upset. And I saw this clip and I said to myself, Stephen A said nothing wrong. Because like Stephen A said at the end of the clip, LeBron was bigging up Bronny. LeBron was saying that he was good enough to play against NBA players. So when your son get to the league and he doesn't live up to the expectations that you set, granted, you LeBron James, somebody who a lot of people consider the greatest player of all time, he was going to walk in with certain amounts of expectations already. But you double down on those expectations when you talk like he's supposed to come in and be the next LeBron. You can't get upset when people have something to say about that. Not to mention, if it's about LeBron himself, you can't get upset with the media because the media helps you gain that $1 billion wealth just as much as playing basketball does. the media, ESPN, all of these sports networks, they work hand in hand with the NBA and these different sports leagues and hyping it up and promoting it. Stephen A is doing nothing but promoting your game. After a game, we get excited the next day to watch a sports show because we want to see what all of these commentators have to say about the game. They work hand in hand. You can't have one. Everybody want to have it both ways. You want to make millions upon millions of dollars, generational wealth, but at the same time, you don't want nobody to talk about your game. It don't work like that. Now, if Stephen A has said something derogatory about Bronny, derogatory about LeBron, I would be with LeBron. You got every right to say something, but that's not the case. I don't even get mad when Skip Bayless says that LeBron James can't make free throws no more. I'm not even upset about that no more because it's about the game. It's not about LeBron's personal life. And I like how Stephen A also brought up, think about all the stuff I know. And when you think about somebody who's been doing the job as much as or as long as he has, he knows things. I've been doing this for 4 years. I know things. Imagine how much the guy who's been doing it for 20 years knows. What we like to call it is, I forgot the term, but it's like you got to keep a treasure chest of celebrity secrets just in case. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, you know, it's people in media who have those. Imagine Stephen A's, you know, WAC 100 hard drive. Imagine Stephen A's like little locker full of NBA players and NFL players and NHL, all of these athletes, boxers. He got the secrets. But yet he comes on the air and he does his job. He don't get too messy. He don't get too personal. I've been telling y'all for the last couple of days, why ain't nobody talking about this Anthony Edwards thing and him signing his rights over his parental rights to not be in his child's life? Because they want to make Anthony Edwards the next LeBron James. They want him to be the next face of the NBA. So they're not going to talk about him and all of his baby mamas. He the face of child support. I keep telling y'all. But nobody's talking about that on ESPN, including Stephen A. So you have examples that he's telling the truth and he's not just getting up there bloviating and lying and just, you know, trying to have something to say for ratings. Cause I keep hearing that too. Oh, they was using Bronny for ratings. They used this one for ratings. They just making up stuff. Bro, if the Lakers lost to the Celtics, I'm expecting ESPN and Stephen A. Smith and all of them guys to talk about it. That's not like clout chasing and seeking ratings. If Bronny had a game last night and he played bad, I'm expecting the sports commentators to talk about it. Once again, I don't know what these people want. And by the way, this was still good promotion for Stephen A. because he promoted the fact that he's going to be on Gilbert Arenas' podcast tomorrow. And I'll be tuned in to watch that. But at the same time, it's like, LeBron, I really hate to say this, but you know it's true. That was weak what you did. Some of these NBA players are too sensitive. The Kevin Durant syndrome has spread across the NBA and really across the league. Let me know what y'all think about this. Like the video and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.